everybody. Welcome to another weekly podcast from Sandian. Today, we're going to be talking about balance, work-life balance. And today, we have here business development Vic and social media manager Kate. And they're going to be joining us today. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you, Kate?
Yeah, I'm doing good also. I'm excited to be back.
All right. Well, welcome to the podcast again. And I think that we got a pretty cool, easy topic, if you will. So
I think that work-life balance is a pretty unique topic because it's so different for everyone. I guess it really depends on your career, also what your home life is like. Kind of a lot of different factors play into it. So it is it's pretty personalized. It's pretty individualized, I think.
Very underrated too, right?
Yeah, it's not something you think about all the time. Sometimes you get super invested in either your work or your home life. It also, again, depends on the situation. But
what are the little things that people might be skipping that are having a big impact in their daily basis, if you will?
Oh, sure. I mean, it's like you tend to ignore your health, things like that. And it's not a little thing. I mean, if you don't kind of maintain yourself, that's the personal aspect of it, right? You have to take care of your health. If you're just constantly working, if you don't take a break, you're liable to face burnout. You can actually, suffer as far as the health consequences. So you really do need to maintain that personal side, that time that you need to take care of yourself mentally as well as physically to kind of get away from work.
What are the things that, when we're talking about balance, what are the things that we define as balance? What are the things that need to be, quote unquote, in balance? Is it health? Is it religion? Is it money? Is it relationship? What exactly?
If you have a career or a job that's really important to you, that definitely has to play a role. If you're a parent or family is a big part of your life, that also can come into play. So I really think it's about prioritizing and kind of realizing what you need to spend time on in order to feel that balance. And I think balance could even be a weird term to use because I think it's more of a harmony than it is a balance. I'm not saying you have to spend 50% of your time with your family, 50% of your time doing work. If you are perfectly satisfied doing 75-25 or 30-60, however much you want to do it, it really just whatever makes you feel like you have satisfied all the areas of your life that you need to fulfill. So again,
we're not perfect, right? Because all of us are struggling with the same thing. I think that one of the things that are very significant when it comes to this topic, I think, is sleep, right?
I mean, I hear, you read and hear different things. Some people say all you need is 4, and you hear it from a lot of, famous and people that they only need 4 hours of sleep and they're good to go for the day. And there's of course, if you go to any healthcare professional, they'll tell you need a solid 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, basically, to kind of function properly during the day. So it's.
How about the workplace? Is there what do we consider like a healthy, balanced workplace, work environment?
I think there needs to be an aspect of that day in which you can kind of take a brain break in a way. I don't think anyone can work for a straight 8 hours straight without looking away from whatever they're doing. I think every once in a while needs to take a walk around the building or just kind of take a break doing something that's not their work, at least for like 5 to 10 minutes here and there. I think that a really important way to get your work done efficiently and successfully is take a break every once in a while because no one can focus for 8 hours straight.
All right. What drains you at a workplace? What are the kind of things that you say?
It's just
man,
just a stress of working.
Home.
But speaking to that, really is if you think about it, there's a lot of companies out there right now that are actually creating quiet rooms, quiet spaces that you can go to in during the day, so that you can. They'll create a special room.
Like it's just like a empty
just take a
room.
nap. Yeah, napping is becoming kind of popular.
You know what? I heard that in Spain, you have like 2 hours of break. You have an hour to eat, and then you have another hour to take a nap.
Yeah. I don't know about taking a nap, but I think like a decent length break is beneficial to kind of maintain a balance at work. And also I think that that'll, as a result, help you out in your overall work-life balance, because the more productive you feel at work, because I feel a lot more productive when I've recently had a break. After 3 hours of straight working, my productivity starts to decline.
True.
So I think a break every once in a while makes me a lot more productive. So I think the more productive you are with your time, if you just put all of your energy into your work while you're there, get a bunch of stuff done, like by the time you get home, you don't have to think about work, and you're ready to focus on your family or focus on another aspect, and you don't have to be worrying about the work because you've already felt like you've done enough that day. So I think that productivity is a really big part of it too.
And which leads me to, how about breaks? I mean, like here in the States, most of the employers or most of the jobs, you have like 30 minutes lunch break. Is that enough?
I mean, it depends on who you are. For some people, that's fine. 30 hours, basically. So you can,
like
if you need an hour or a half an hour.
Sometimes I take 30 minutes. Sometimes just take like an hour. Just
Depends on the day.
it depends on the day, right?
Sure.
Or the kind of job that you have.
Yeah.
Maybe it's very draining during the morning. By the third hour, you kind of like like she said, the productivity
starts to go down,
decline,
and that's why they have coffee. That's our favorite. That's how we keep
another part of the balance.
Hey, come on,
man! And I need to get myself together when it comes to coffee.
Coffee break. They don't call it a coffee break for nothing.
It's a little bit too much, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee, what are some habits that y'all purposely implement, or some actions that you guys take to maintain a work-life balance in your life? Or is there anything particular that you like to think about as you're working, or as you're working on another aspect of your life, that helps you kind of maintain a harmony with everything that you need to do?
In order to answer that question, we need to dig a little deeper than that. What kind of job are you looking for? Where are you working at? Which is going to have a huge impact on your life.
You do need to kind of take care of yourself physically. Give some time to look after yourself, whether it might be somebody might be going to the gym, going for a jog, or just simply relaxing, and you have to give yourself your time, sort of the me time that you need to kind of get away from work so that you can be more productive at work. It affects you. You don't think it does, but it does. The stress of the commute, going to work, you have stress at work, you have things you need, you have goals you have to achieve, things you need to get done.
And
all
then,
of course, the stress of going back home. You need to give yourself some time, get home and just relax a little bit and give yourself that mental rest so that you can actually come back, reset, and ready to go the next day. The thing I'd like to talk about a little bit right now is more of sort of a long-term break.
Right.
You need to take your vacation. You
True.
need to take your time off. You need to get away. If you're by yourself, if you have to, with your family, you need to get some time away. And I'm not talking about a couple of hours in the evening. I'm talking about an extended vacation where you're kind of away from work to kind of recharge your batteries.
Recharge your battery.
Yeah, get reset so that you can, when you do come back, you can give all you have to your work also.
Something that really helps me is, in terms of productivity, I like to make to-do lists. I'm a very visual person, so when it comes to getting stuff done and kind of feeling accomplished at the end of the day, I like to have a to-do list in front of me so I can just check things off as I go. A trick that I use is I just like to write everything down. So if anything that pops into my head, even if it's like, oh, I'm out of shampoo, I need to buy shampoo this week, I'll write that down in my planner, next to my to-do list, so that every time I look at my to-do list, I'm reminded of other things that I have to do too. And so then I can kind of schedule in. I'm just a big scheduler, so I kind of plan out my day every morning, saying after work, on my way home, I'm going to stop by CVS and buy some shampoo. So I kind of I just like to write everything down in one central spot where I can, just the general things I need to focus on in life, basically. And it's all kind of in one central place. And at the end of the day, I can look at it and see that I've checked everything off. And that's kind of a way that I feel like I've had a productive day and that I've accomplished. So for me, it's just writing things down. And
I've taken things out of my head and put in a piece of paper just for the heck of it, right? And 1 year later...
You're old school, huh? You like to write things down.
Yeah.
I've worked with people who basically have not a scrap of paper on their desk. Everything is on their laptop or their computer basically, and that's just how they do things. And I kind of admire them in a way because they don't have the mess all over the place.
Right.
And they seem so much more organized, and it's just basically, but,
Right.
You got to do what works for you.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah, it works. I just think that when a physical pen and a physical paper and you writing things down, I don't know. I think that
I think it sinks more into your brain basically when you write it down, right?
Yeah, I think there were studies done I think it was for college students, specifically people in school, but people who take notes on their computer versus people who write their notes. I think the study showed that people who wrote their notes with a pen ended up retaining the material more than the people who typed their notes. And I think it's just because typing is more of a mindless, you can, your fingers have learned how to just they're like machines now, you can just type without thinking and you know what you're typing, you know where the letters are. But when you have to write something down, it takes more time and you think about it more and you're looking at it more. So I think it makes sense that
you can't write without looking, right?
Yeah, exactly. You kind of retain more.
Balance is is overall. It's like when you try to lose weight, right? You can't just say I need to lose weight here. Or I need to lose weight on my belly. No, you're gonna lose overall fat, right?
I can tell, at least for myself, when I'm kind of off balance a little bit at work, you're a little more tired. You're just a little more lethargic. You're not paying attention as much. Your mind tends to wander, and at that point that you need to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
at least that's what I feel.
Yeah, I think your body and your mind just kind of tells you when there's something you need, like whether it be
off,
whether it be you've been not sleeping enough or whether you haven't been taking enough breaks at work. If you're starting to lose focus, obviously there's something wrong, and that's kind of when you need to take a step back and realize that, okay, I'm off balance a little bit. What's something that I'm lacking in right now that I can, a habit that I normally have, maybe that I'm not doing as much of lately, that would put me back into balance. So I think when your body and your mind start to tell you that something's off and you're not able to focus or you're not having a good week, anything like that, that's when you need to think more about what your habits have been like lately and when you can change up.
But how do you tell when now we got the work part, but the life part when you're off?
How do you explain that to somebody that, let's say, have a certain financial situation that's a little bit tight and needs to have, let's say, maybe they have a job that don't earn that much, or for whatever reason they need to have 2 jobs and they're working close to 80 hours a week, 60 hours a week, say 70 hours a week. How do you explain balance to that type of people? They get off work at 12, go to sleep at 1:30, had to wake up at 5. How do we explain balance to that type of people when their balance is a little bit compromised? What are the things that they can do?
I would say, is it a short-term thing? Is it is it just something where they have to do this for a certain period of time?
Right.
Where they're kind of working 2 jobs, let's just say, or something.
Which hopefully
like that.
it's true. Hopefully it's just a temporary thing. You don't want to do this for the rest of your life.
You're not going to keep it up.
Right.
It's going to affect you.
It's going to affect you.
At the end of the day, if you think about it, nobody at the end of their life ever says, "Oh, I wish I would have worked more." They always say, "I wish I would have spent more time with my kids."
Yeah.
I wish I would have spent more time with my family. I wish I had traveled more. I wish I had done this. I wish I'd learned to do this, play the piano, whatever. They never say, I wish I'd spent more time at work.
Yeah.
So
always.
That's where the balance part comes in, I think, is that you have to kind of, I know that making money, working, and your career is very, very important. But if it's going to be 80 hours, 50, 60 hours a week for the rest of your life, it ain't going to be a long life.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to productivity too. And when I say productivity, I mean, you can be productive in your family life as well, as in, if you work all day, say you get up at 6 to go to work and you have a couple of jobs, and by the time you get home, it's 8 p.m. and then you have a couple of hours with your family before everyone goes to sleep. I would say being productive in those couple of hours with your family, in terms of putting away your phone, don't be sending emails, don't be on social media, just kind of take those 2 hours and take advantage of them, because if you know that's all the time you have to spend with your family each day, then you make the most of it. You should be all in. So I think that in terms of productivity, I think being productive with your family or in any aspect of your life is really helpful to kind of feel more fulfilled in that area and to kind of help you feel better about the balance that you have, even if your works, or even if your life seems super unbalanced, as in you work all day and then you have a couple of hours at home before you work again. But, you know, I think that kind of being all in every aspect of your life is really important too.
Absolutely. And I think that everything comes down to quality over quantity, right?
Agreed.
And always, wise people and smart people always want to try to do more doing less, right? Well, that's it for today. I enjoyed the conversation.
By the way, that barber was so wrong. Do you blink your eyes when you show up at work? You have to get up, take a bath, get ready, get in your car. You got to drive. You got to drive back. Takes me an hour.
So
I'm
you got
talking 10, 11 hours right here. That's 11 hours. As far
That's
as
like 4
concerned.
extra hours of
Exactly.
errands right there.
Yeah,
That's
right?
true. That. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for being here
It was
today.
fun.
I
It was fun.
appreciate
Had a good
it.
time.
Yeah, good conversation
Yeah.
for sure.
Have a good time. Follow us, please, on social media. Engage with us. We have LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Vimeo, right? Follow us on social media, engage with us. And if you ever want to be part of this podcast, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to talk to you and have a conversation with you. We're putting this content together for information, to have the information out there free. All right, so thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good one.